sure if we're live or not. It says we're live. I'll have to check and see if we're live on YouTube and TikTok, or I'm sorry, Facebook. Um, let's do this. Not sure if I like this or not. Oh, yeah. Yes, we are live. Okay. Let me turn that off so you don't get any feedback loop. Just trying stuff out, just trying it out. Well, thank you, Gut Mistress. How are you? I'm not sure who you are, but you obviously know who I am. Oh, well, I was trying to hook this up so I could go live on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, but I'm having trouble getting a TikTok stream key for some reason. Um, but I'm looking for it, and eventually I will. But I'm doing it here tonight. Something new. See how it works out. Um, if you go ahead and share it out a little bit, that would be great. Appreciate it. But yeah, I'm a little late tonight. Becca had me at the grocery store. Oh, gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, this is kind of an impromptu thing, you know, trying something new. How have you been, Patsy? Still need to get you and Peyton on the show. We're gonna we're gonna see who all shows up here tonight. Let's see. This is all new to me. I'm using Riverside to do this. Do I sound okay? Because I can't hear myself. Is Becca here? I don't think Becca is here. Let me get her in here. Let me see if she'll jump in on YouTube or Facebook. I know. I'm texting her right now. She's not in the room with me tonight. Her back's kind of hurting. So she decided she was going to stay out there tonight, a little more comfortable. And I like it nice and cool in my studio. And the air conditioner is right above her head when she sits in here. So she gets a little chilly sitting in here. 3 new chat messages. Oh, okay. That's the studio chat. Figuring it out. I'm gonna be professional probably by the end of the night. Yeah, yeah. Patsy, have you been getting your links? Get that girl an RV. we didn't go camping this weekend. Um, one, it was hot enough last weekend, and I didn't feel like sweating again this weekend. Next weekend's supposed to be a lot nicer, but um, we decided we went up to there's a local swimming hole called Pine Lake. It's not far from us. We uh we went up there and went swimming instead of going camping. And I did a little bit of I went and watched my daughter play softball this morning. Um, I miss watching her play. Yeah. She's graduated now, and this was like a 23 and under uh, softball team or whatever. Slow pitch. Hadn't watched slow pitch softball since I was a kid, I think. Well, now we got three. If you're in here, leave me a message and let me know who all's in here. I am still learning this this layout because this is my first time going live on both. Becca is here. The lovely Mrs. Fike is here. Says I have three watching though. Patsy, Becca, and I'm not sure who else. That's all right. This is going to take some getting used to. This is a lot different than my TikTok studio. But anyway, so if you're watching on TikTok, or I'm sorry, on YouTube or Facebook, drop a comment down below. I'm not sure. Becca, where are you watching from? Are you watching from YouTube or Facebook? I'm not sure how this is. Oh, there it says you're on YouTube. Now I see that. Okay. Figuring it out. I'm going to be a pro. I'm going to be a pro by the end of the night. You know what I forgot? I forgot my drink. Let me share my. Okay. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. I think I've also figured out how I can bring people into the studio and be live on here with me too. You don't see it on Facebook. It should be under my regular profile, I think. Let me see. Oh, no. It says it's not on. Daggone it. I thought it was uploading to Facebook, but apparently it's not. We are just on YouTube. Okay. Okay. That's all right. That's all right. Let me make a Facebook post saying I'm live on YouTube. Um, let me share this. Let me put this out there. There we go. Sissy, how you doing tonight? Glad to see you in. Oh, it's Peyton is here. Peyton is here. How you doing, buddy? I thought I was live on Facebook, but apparently not. Um, that's all right. We'll figure it out. We will get it working. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I forgot it when I walked in here. My lovely wife brought me a drink because she loves me. She loves me. What? It's so Peyton, how you been? That's good. That's good. Really need to get you guys on the show. Want to hear about all of your experiences. Yeah. So we've got Becca, Patsy, and Peyton in here. Anyway, this week coming up, Patsy should have the preview link for it already. This is the second part with Brian. He had an amazing Sasquatch encounter last week's episode. If you haven't watched that, it's called We Shot Bigfoot. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Paracon. Oh, did you go with chumming? Is that the one you're talking about? I'm still I'm still figuring this out. Still figuring this out. I should say live with Miss Monsters and Mullets underneath, or maybe not. Very active. Yeah, yeah. Is that the one with Chumming with the Spirits? Because I know they were talking about a lot of activity on there. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, yeah. I got to get you guys on. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it. Got 4 people watching. Leave a comment down below. Let me know who all's here. I know we got Peyton, Patsy, and Becca. Becca is hopefully keeping track of the comments to keep them clean. I'm going to do my best. Yeah, yeah. You guys, I don't know if you guys are able to, but October 4th, Chumming with the Spirits, myself, Drunken Cryptids, Nevermore Hollows, we're all going to be in Ado, Ohio, for the Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree put on by Cryptids of the Corn. They've got some amazing speakers going to be there. Going to be 2 different rooms where they're going to have speakers going on. There's going to be the family room, which is free. And then they're going to have the other speakers, which you have to buy tickets for, which you can find at cryptidsofthecorn.com. I will be free. You can come see me for free, you know, and that's a good deal. You know, it doesn't get it. There isn't a better deal on the planet to come see me for free. All right. Let me see what else we got to do here. It will be a great time. It will be. Um, Also, if you haven't seen it yet, put out a bonus episode last week. Um, in celebration of me hitting 500 subscribers, along with Nevermore Hollows and Drunken Cryptids, we will be forming a new podcast called Dudes from the Internet. All right, Peyton, have fun. But we are going to be starting a new podcast called Dudes from the Internet. It'll be a little different than what you're used to seeing. Um, you hear the paranormal encounters on my show and on Matthew's show. And then Nevermore Hollows has the horror stories. This new podcast venture, which will be starting in a few months, probably. We want to get some episodes recorded before we start dropping them. It could be a little bit of everything. One week we might be talking about music. One week it might be movies. We might do local legends, things like that. It's going to be a little bit of everything. A little bit different than what you're used to seeing off of our channels, but we have other interests other than just the paranormal. So, and we have a lot of fun together. You know, we say it a lot to each other that we consider each other brothers, and I really do. I really do consider those guys like brothers. So, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to try to get some other podcasters involved with um, Dudes from the Internet. So you're going to be seeing some other faces in there as well. It says we have 3 watching. I believe Peyton left. Leave a comment down below if you're watching. I can't see a list. That's different than what I usually have on TikTok. I can usually see who all's in here. With this setup, I cannot. Yeah. Oh, whoa, what did I do? Am I still okay? I'm still on. Okay. Still learning. Still learning. Um, he did. Oh, he did leave. Yeah. But it still says we got 3 people watching. I wonder though. I wonder if I'm one of them. No? 'Cause I was checking to make sure I was live on one of my other accounts. It's not me. Um, yeah. So upcoming episode is part 2 with Brian Goddard. He's an interesting guy. He also has a podcast called Cryptid Paranormal. And I believe, Patsy, did you meet him down there? I was wondering if it was counting me, but because I had logged in earlier just to make sure I was live, but I'm off of there now. So there should be somebody else watching. Oh, gotcha. Well, no, it said four for a little while. So I think there's somebody else. Somebody else is watching. Maybe they're driving. Maybe they can't comment. Or maybe they're just lost. They're lost in the lusciousness of my mullet. And they're too shocked to speak. Because that can happen. Yeah, Brian, you would know him if you saw him because he's 6'8". Okay. He is a Sasquatch. But I believe he was going down there to that Paracon, if I remember right. I could be wrong. Maybe it was a different one, but I thought he was going on that hunt with them. But I know he will be at the Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree. So 3 people watching. I probably should have announced that I was going live. Maybe I would have got more people in here, but I did not. 'Cause I'm a bad host. Bad host. Becca, don't laugh at me. I'm a professional. Professional, Becca. Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand. I'm 100% sure I chose Facebook to stream to, but it's not up there. I got to work on this. Got to work on it. I'm used to seeing people strolling in on TikTok, so it's making it a little harder to interact over here. Make sure you're sharing it out. Professional bullshitter. That's what I am, Becca. You should know that by now. Um, let me try sharing it this way. Share, copy link. Put that out on Facebook. Nope, not there. Not there. Not there. You probably think you're probably watching me and thinking this guy doesn't know what he's doing. It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. You know, just got to keep them guessing. I keep them guessing. Uh, yeah, we'll get this figured out. Get this figured out. Next week's episode, after Brian's part 2, is David Hardy. He is an author, illustrator. I think he's a youth pastor. Sells T-shirts, makes different kind of cryptid T-shirts. But he wrote a book, an illustrated book about different cryptids. And he put his own artistic style on what each of the cryptids look like. I'm trying to get a whole copy of that book. I do not have one yet. So once I do, I will post some pictures of it. And yeah. What we got after that? I think we have Don't Whistle at Night podcast coming on. I appreciate that. I appreciate the shares. Let's see what's on the calendar here. So yeah, we have David, and then we have Don't Whistle at Night podcast coming on. Don Yazzie is the host. His co-host, I am interviewing him on Thursday, so his will be down the road a little bit. But Don and I sat down for 2 hours, and so we're going to get bonus material this week. Going to get part 1 on Wednesday, part 2 on Saturday. That's in 2 weeks. And then Maxim Furyk comes back in. What's up with the whistle? Well, there's a couple different legends and lore about that. The one that I adhere to is that when you whistle, something's going to whistle back. And one of the things that people say whistles is Bigfoot. So basically, kind of like tree knocks. You could be calling this thing in. Um, could be calling other things in too. Um, but the one that I hear and I like is the Bigfoot angle because I like my Bigfoot. So it is folklore, but there's people in Appalachia, they they believe it. There's a reason that they don't leave their windows uncovered at night. Um, don't answer if you hear your name called in the woods or at night. You know, could be something mimicking you or mimicking somebody that you know. Whistle while you work, just not at night. But Don and um, drawing a blank on his co-host Danny. Don and Danny are from the Navajo tribe, so we got some really interesting stories coming up from them. And then Maxim Furyk comes back in after that. We're going to talk more about the Schmerl haunting, Bigfoot, cryptids, or Skinwalker. um, let's just say there's going to be. Yeah, I'm just going to say yes. There's 2 hours worth with Don, so you're going to hear about some Skinwalkers, Bigfoot, and other cryptids. Yes, some that I didn't even realize people were seeing. Let's put it that way. It's something you've heard of, but I didn't realize that people were still seeing these things. Talked about in a lot of books and stuff like that. They're seeing them out there. Yeah, it's a fun one. It's a very fun one, and he has so much more. I want to try to get him back on the show. Maybe he'll come in and do a live with me because that's what he does. His show actually had a live show earlier today, and yeah, he does his shows live on YouTube, and he's part of I think he's on the radio somewhere, in New Orleans, I believe. Hello, welcome in. If you can leave a comment down below so I know who all's in here and who all I'm talking to. We've got Patsy, Becca, 3 others. So then after Maxim Furyk comes back in on the 10th. We're going to have Ryan. Jeff Davis comes in. Met Jeff up at Beachfoot. He is a historian, archaeologist. He's kind of like he's traveled the world. Like he goes over to England and studied some stuff, and he come back over here and started studying, the history of Bigfoot and stuff like that. I've also got him scheduled to come back in September to record, and we're actually going to do something a little different. It's going to be different. We're going to talk about Viking lore, something a little off the rails. Do you know how sometimes I do like to get off the rails a little bit and have something a little different for everybody to listen to? Can't be Bigfoot all the time, you know? I mean, it could, but then I'd be just like every other show. I think that's one of the things that makes my show different is I'm not afraid to have some other interesting things. Just something different. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And, you know, there are reports of a Bigfoot-like creature there actually. Not many, but there's reports of dogmen and Bigfoot over there. Loch Ness is in Great Britain. They have what are those black dogs called? Like the hellhounds. Um, they got a different term for them though. The grim. The grim. Yeah. Yeah. What is that? Oh, never mind. But yeah, what does everybody want to talk about tonight? Um, got 5 people watching. Make sure you're leaving a comment. Let me know you're in here. Talk about whatever we want tonight. Stacy, how you doing? Yeah, you got Dog Man out there. You want to talk about Dog Man? Stacy and I went to school together. That's right. She knew me. She knew me before I even had a mullet. Yeah. You got yeah. I know who you are. Know everything. Know everything. Not really. Had somebody come in the live and TikTok the other night. He was talking to me. He's like, "Hey, you remember me?" I'm like, "No." Well, he changed his name on TikTok. I was like, "Well, that's why I don't remember you." He was actually a guest that was on the show. Randy from Ashland Paranormal Group in Ohio. And he came in and so no, bad mojo. Well, you're in Mississippi? Is that correct? I believe you're in Mississippi. I know it's one of them southern states. One of those states that gets snow like every 12 to 15 years. Because I think I remember you posting some pictures of some snow. Yeah, I, TikTok and I kind of had a falling out a couple months ago. Yeah, Patsy was in there for that. I got booted out of my live. So I had a gift goal up there. I think it was like 20 money guns. If I hit 20 money guns, I said I would take off my mullet. Well, apparently that is deemed sexual content as far as TikTok is concerned. Gotcha. Yeah, Stacy, we're going down to Georgia here in a couple weeks. We're going to be in Blue Ridge, Georgia. Closer to you, not real close. It may be. Maybe. That's why I'm working so hard over the last few months trying to build up my YouTube so I can do things like this here and I don't have to rely on TikTok for the lives. We just hit 900 subscribers here on YouTube. So you'll be seeing a lot more of the lives here than you will on TikTok in the very near future. Um, Patsy, since you're in here, um, I've been sending you guys the preview links, everybody who is subscribed over on TikTok here in September. Um, that is all going to move over to Buy Me a Coffee. And what I'm going to do for everybody that has already subscribed, I'm going to upgrade your subscription on Buy Me a Coffee to the second tier. And you're going to get some little different content than what you're used to. You're still going to get your previews and stuff, but they're going to be different. You're going to get basically, you're going to be able to skip the fluff. You're not going to, we have a place in Townsend, Tennessee. Oh, nice. Nice. But for the subscribers from TikTok, what you're going to get over on Buy Me a Coffee, don't go over and subscribe to Buy Me a Coffee yet. It's not completely set up. That's going to come in September. Okay. Until then, everything stays the same, but I'm just going to tell you what you're going to get. The first tier is exactly what you get on TikTok. You're going to get a preview link before everybody else of the upcoming episodes. That's it. It's $3. $3 a month. I believe the second tier is like, I have to double check. Second tier is like $5 or $6 a month. For that, What you're going to get is once a month, you're going to get 4 episodes. It's going to be, it may be 6 episodes, whatever's coming out that month. You're going to get access to just the interviews. So you don't have to wait through the intros. You don't have to hear the outros. There will be no ads. But you're going to get 4 episodes, or how many ever episodes are coming out that month. You're going to get them raw without all the extras. Go straight to the interviews. And then there's one more level. It's a little more expensive. It's pretty expensive. It's actually $25 a month. But what you're going to get with that is you're going to get all those previews plus a t-shirt, plus you're going to, at $25 a month, I'm going to give you what I'm calling the backstage pass. The backstage pass will allow you to sit in while I'm doing interviews. You'll be able to watch and listen. You won't be able to interact, but you'll be able to sit back and watch as I do the interviews live. So, yeah, that's what's coming up on Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon. I'm going to do both. Do you have YouTube? No, I do not. I need my watch hours to go up a little bit more before I can have memberships here. Well, that's the good thing about Buy Me a Coffee. Let's say what I plan on doing is listing everybody that I'm going to be interviewing for the month. And let's say you want to sit in on just that one. You know, you're really interested in this one. You could pay for that $25 for that month. Is this on YouTube? No, the membership stuff will be on Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon, but do not sign up yet. Don't do it yet. I could do that. It won't be live until September. I'm just telling you guys what's coming. Okay. But you'll be able to go over to Buy Me a Coffee, look up Miss Monsters and Mullets. You can go over there now and make a donation, but you're not getting any content yet. Patreon's going to be the same thing. Still working on setting them up so they can go live all at the same time. But yeah, the one I'm interested to see if anybody does is, I think it's called the mythic status or mythic level. I've got the mullet level, the monster level, and the mythic level. The mythic level, it's going to get you a lot. You're going to get that t-shirt. You're going to get all the content, unedited, raw. And then you're also going to get that backstage pass. So if there's somebody I list, this is who I've got scheduled for the month, and you want to sit in on one of them, you could pay for it for that 1 month. I may even offer, I could do that. I could just sell the backstage passes too. Yes. 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 Buy Me a Coffee. I'm probably going to push that a little bit more. And it's because they pay out better than Patreon. Yeah. Patreon keeps a little bit more than what Buy Me a Coffee does. And you have a little more, from what I'm seeing, you have a little more flexibility on Buy Me a Coffee, but I'm working through it all. There's a lot to it, and I want to get it to the point where as soon as somebody sign up, they have access to all this stuff. So I've got to get it kind of ahead. I got to get ahead a little bit. And with us going to Georgia here in just a couple weeks, yeah, I'm already under the gun right now. So, but yeah, that's what's coming up. Right. Right. All they heard was take off. That I was going to, if I hit that goal, I was going to take it off. And their AI filters, automatically said, "Oh my God, He's stripping on TikTok. You know, people wouldn't be paying me to do that. They'd be paying for me to put my clothes on. You know, says we got 6 people in here watching. We got Stacy, we got Patsy, we got Becca. Who else is watching? Leave a comment down below. Say hi if you haven't yet, and I'm sure you have. If you're watching my live, you've already subscribed. But if you haven't yet, and you're just browsing through, hit that subscribe button. My normal shows aren't quite like this. I mean, it's me and a mullet talking to really interesting people, having great conversations, but and I try to stay on topic as much as possible. That doesn't happen. I always get off the rails. Always, always. Stacy, do you have any paranormal encounters? I mean, you grew up in Bradford. Now you live in Mississippi. You know, you went from haunted train town to, I don't know, what's Mississippi known for? I know they got Bigfoot down there. Um, I think there was a pretty famous UFO sighting down there. Um, it was over a lake or over the Gulf or something. Like they called in, like it was pretty interesting. Oh, it wasn't an orb. Yeah, that's why I always am very critical of orb videos. Um, at night with IR, you're going to get a lot of bugs. You're going to get a lot of dust. Um, I know a lot of people will be like, well, that dust particle couldn't have moved that way because everything else was going this way. Well, there's different currents in the air too. For me, if it's going to be an orb, it has to be self-illuminating. It came out of the ceiling, hit the floor, then the ball lit up. Oh, well, I'm constantly a skeptic on some of this stuff, Patsy, and it's nothing against you. Um, I did have some stories, hairy man of scuba. What? Stacy, we got to talk offline. We got to talk offline. And I'm pretty sure you still have my phone number. um, I haven't changed my phone number in like 15 years, so I'm pretty sure you've got my phone number. Um, I forget what I was talking about now. Oh, I'm always the skeptic. So even though I have people that own my show and they're coming in telling these wild encounters. And if they're coming in and telling me, I believe that that's their truth. Okay. They know what they saw. I wasn't there. I can't call them a liar. But when I watch these different paranormal shows and they focus on these orbs, like orbs is their life. Like they eat orbs for breakfast. Okay. 9 times out of 10, it's a freaking bug. It got caught in the IR. Yeah. When you're standing outside at night, bugs hit you in the face. They fly at your face. They fly past your ear. So yeah, sometimes bugs go in towards people. Um, I haven't seen your video. It does interest me that the cat ball went off as soon as the orb hit in that area. Um, so I can't make a determination one way or the other, but I am very skeptical of the orbs. But with that said, I have a guy that's coming on the show. He has a different kind of orb story. And this is what I think of when I think of orbs is something that you can see without the IR camera. Translated. Leavenworth Cemetery, POW location, no response till we use. Oh, wow. Yeah. That stuff interests me. EVPs, stuff like that. That stuff I like. do, I do. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I've just always been really skeptical of the orbs unless they're self-illuminating. I'll send it to what was an orb? Okay, yeah, absolutely. Send it to me. You can either send it. You've got my number, so either text it to me or send it on Facebook. Facebook does a pretty good job of sending videos. Or you can email me, mythsandmullets@gmail.com. Also, I'm booked up through September right now. So, and October is filling up. So, if you'd like to be on the show, shoot me a message. I will send you my calendar. You choose a date, choose a time that best works for you, and that day becomes yours. And you're locked in. I have an orb story from when I lived in Piqua in fourth grade during a blackout. I didn't have Harry Man stories from here, but I have a freaky story of some type of cryptid in the Smokies. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. So, Stacy, I will be contacting you after this live. It was self-illuminated, just slowed down, just so you can see it. Gotcha. So you saw it in real time, or you only saw it when the camera was played back? And was it in IR or was it in regular? Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times there's one show in particular that I don't want to use their names because they're known to, go after people that badmouth them, but they wear really tight shirts and somebody gets possessed like every episode. You probably know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say their name. Um, they're obsessed with these orbs, and you watch the show, and literally 9 times out of 10, you can tell it's a freaking bug. Is all it is a freaking bug. And they'll be, oh, you know, w- this house was perfectly clean. There was no dust in the house, and there were screens on the windows. No bugs were in the. Give me a break. I don't care how clean your house is. Every time you open the door, a fly can get in. Some kind of bug can get in that house. So I don't know. It just irks me. Irks me. Am I the only one? Yeah, I want to hear the one. Corky's in here. Corky from Remember That podcast. If you haven't yet, check out Remember That. If you're into the movies and um, stuff from the 80s. You guys do music and stuff too, don't you, Corky? I was on an episode though where we reviewed Halloween Part 4. No, Friday the 13th Part 4. Gotcha. Gotcha. I saw it with my naked eyes. It was huge. I'm Look, I'm not going to confirm or deny what you said, Stacy. Yeah. Or it could be it could, yeah. I did have somebody send me a video, and it was from a ring cam. And I'm not going to mention this person's name. They may be watching. I know they're a subscriber. I looked at it, saw what I thought it was. I sent it to a couple other people, and it did look bizarre because there was nothing else moving on the screen that should have activated this ring camera, except for this what looked to be something like a portal opening and then going away. I looked at it. I didn't tell the people that I sent it to what I thought it was. They came back and said the exact same thing. They thought it was a spider web that had blown like a light breeze, blew it in. It catches the IR. So as it gets brighter, it looks like a portal opening, and then as it swings back out, it looks like the portal closing, you know. And it's common. It's common for people to see stuff like that, wanting to see the paranormal. And if you go into everything wanting to see the paranormal or expecting the paranormal, that's all you're going to see. Everything, every sound you hear, is going to be paranormal. You have to go into it skeptical because the paranormal, cryptids, all of this stuff is like, when you go fishing, sometimes you have a bad day and you don't catch anything. Well, the paranormal, cryptids, UFOs, things like that is like having a bad day fishing 99% of the time. You're not if you happen to go out and you catch something every time you go out, great for you. But for most people, you're not going to go out and find something every single time you go out. I can't believe it. I believe that you believe it. I need to get a new computer system to get better debug capabilities. Yeah. I actually need to upgrade my computer too. Becca, don't listen, but probably with my Christmas bonus, I'm upgrading my computer. Okay. I agree. There's never a bad day fishing. A bad day fishing is still better than a good day at work. So you're right. There's never a bad day fishing. But the metaphor I'm using is sometimes you don't catch anything. So that's how it is. That's how it should be and how it is with the paranormal. You're normally not going to catch anything. Now, are there very active places? Absolutely. But they're not everywhere. Every place that has a haunting or has um, cryptid sightings, you're not going to see them every time you go out there. It's just the way it is. I'll still buy you some cubic zirconium or whatever it's called. Nobody will know except for the 5 other people watching. Corky, you know what I'm talking about, man. It is like fishing. And if you happen to have this super haunted house, invite me over because I want to see it. I want to see it. I do know that Randolph County Infirmary right down the road from me is very haunted. I had some stuff go on there, but I've also had people tell me they went there and nothing happened. But then other people, same thing. They heard the same kind of things that I saw down there. So I do believe that there are very active places, but even in those active places, it's 99% of the time, it's not every day or every night or all day long, you know? And I get that, let's say let's say you do have Sasquatch activity on your property, okay? Right, it's like hunting. Um, you've seen Sasquatch on your property. Awesome. I wanna see see them too. Not every not every twig that falls out of your tree and hits the top of your car is from Sasquatch. Not every nut or acorn that falls out of the tree is Sasquatch. Um, Squatch, you doing? How you tonight? This is my this is my first real live on YouTube. I'm doing it kind of in the style that I do on TikTok. So Squatch, you doing is going to be a guest. Well, she's already come in and recorded. Her episode is coming out in October, I believe. I don't have them memorized when they're all coming out, but you will be seeing Angie on Myths, Monsters, and Mullets. Make sure you check out her channel too. Um, she is she is investigating the creatures, and I think she might have a little bit of a hot spot down there. Is that right, Angie? Uh, right. So if you look back at some of my TikTok videos, there was one night I was doing a live, and we had some weird stuff happen. Okay. there was something making a noise, and it was a weird noise. I don't still don't know what it was. I don't do I think it was Bigfoot? I don't know what it was. It was just a weird noise. It's like this cooing sound, but it wasn't like a dove or a an owl. It was just this really weird sound. I appreciate that, Angie. I really do. I really do. Um, but it was all being recorded on TikTok Live. I cut that part out and threw it up on TikTok. It's like, what do you think this was? Could have been a very natural explanation for it. I don't know what it was. And then just a few minutes later, we're talking about, Bigfoot and everything else. Something hits my truck. It was probably an acorn. It probably was, but it was loud, and at the time, we're in the middle of talking about Bigfoot. We're talking about paranormal, and all of a sudden there's this bang on my truck, you know? It was a coincidence. Um, not at the time of night. I don't believe it would have been a whippoorwill or a mockingbird. This was like 10 o'clock at night. So, um, I will say this though. There was one night we were out there and I played the Sierra Sounds and something, as soon as I played this thing, it sounded like a tree fell or a branch fell out of a tree or something fell out of a tree, just maybe 50 yards from the camp. Again, I don't know what it was. Could have been just a really strong coincidence. And I don't normally believe in coincidences. Or it could have been I played those sounds and a raccoon got scared, something along that, or a deer ran off through the woods. I don't know. But unless you have physical evidence of a creature or when it comes to ghosts and things like that, um, just be very diligent on debunking before you put stuff out saying this is a ghost, this is an evil entity or something like that. If you want to put it out and have other people look at it and say, what do you think this is? You know, because if you start putting stuff out and saying, this is a ghost, I know this is a ghost, or look at this picture of this blob squatch, I know it's a Bigfoot, I didn't see it move and I didn't see anything else. Don't put it out saying definitively that's what you have. Put it out and let other people take a look at it and take the criticism, because sometimes when you're out there looking for Bigfoot, you're looking for ghosts, you're looking for UFOs, everything is going to be what you're looking for. So you got to be able to take a step back and say, you know, let's let somebody else look at this because it might be a spider web, you know, it might be a bobcat. We're just now in my area, bobcat are moving back into the area. That might have been what we heard that night. I don't know. It could have been just I don't know. It was just weird. It was just weird. Now, one thing I can say, I know what I saw in the middle of the road. There was no mistaking that. And I do know that when I was at Randolph County Infirmary, that a rock hit the cabinet next to my leg. And I was talking to two of the people that were with us, and the other two people were all the way down the hall. There was nobody who could have thrown that rock. And it was caught on audio. 3 of us witnessed it. That's a different story. I'm just saying. Be skeptical. I went on a rant there. Sorry. It is a learning opportunity. Everything should be a learning opportunity because sometimes, and mistakes are the best learning opportunities. Angie must have said I do to the the hot spot. Yeah. Um, Angie, I might get you in touch with Drunken Cryptids from your area, not far. Um, Maybe able to help you out. At least get you in touch with some people. I mean, you know Todd Neese, um, but Matthew has some other contacts down there. Switch back to TV to charge my earpods and write down chronological timeline of my paranormal experiences along with the giant red orb that kind of scared me. I saw creepy things from here too. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Stacy, it won't be until October at this point right now before I can get you in. And those dates are going fast as well. So if you would like to schedule a time, we can go ahead and do that. And it still gives you time to write down everything. But yeah, we've been doing this an hour. I spent a lot of time at the beginning trying to figure all this stuff out and getting into my groove because I'm used to doing this on TikTok. Um, I don't think it's bad for my first one, especially since I didn't announce that I was doing a live tonight. Um, I appreciate everybody that's come in. I really do. Um, right, right. Matthew, I think, is in North Little Rock. That's where pretty sure that's where he lives. I know he works there, but I'm pretty sure that's where he lives too. Um, One of these days, I'll make it down to Arkansas and we'll all have to get together. Yeah, have dinner or something. Oh, we might as well record it if we're going to talk about it. We can change your name. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to either. Got a lot of people that come in and just do audio only. Appreciate you, Angie. I really do. I'm still learning all the stuff here on YouTube as far as Ghost. Ghost, or is that? Can't see your profile. Ghost, how do I know you? I'm on Riverside right now, so I can't click on your profile to see who you are. But I appreciate you coming in. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do want to air it. Anything paranormal. Ghost, give me a clue on who you are. Oh, it's Ghost Gossip. I can't see your picture, Ashley. Everybody follow Ghost Gossip. It just says Ghost over here. So sorry, Ash. Yeah, Ashley's got a great show. That's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Stacy, I forgot that you did that. But everybody needs to be following Ghost Gossip. Make sure you're following Squat You Doing. Follow Stacy. Yeah. We're all about supporting each other here. Isn't that right, Ashley? I'm trying to form a network of small podcasters to help each other grow, bounce ideas off of each other. Um, we took the first steps of that yesterday, and quite a few people responded. You know, they're interested in being being part of this because with the paranormal, there are a lot of shows, so many shows, and it's hard to stand out. Um, and when you first start podcasting, it's kind of scary because you don't know what you're doing. You know, you go into it just, okay, I got a microphone and a camera. Now, what do I do? You know, so what I'm trying to do is form this little network for small podcasters to be able to help each other with questions. Um, you know, we'll talk about audio. We talk about what kind of cameras we use, how to get guests, how to schedule, things like that, because I had to learn on my own. I did have Alan and Matthew. They did give me some pretty good advice starting out. Um, but you can ask Becca. I kind of like to do things on my own, in my own way. So yeah, I learned some things the hard way. You know, not to have 2.5 hour episodes. Learn that the hard way. So I cut everything down to less than an hour now. Um, cut out the fluff. I was uploading all my lives just how they are, how they were recorded, and nobody wants to listen to me ramble for, 20, 30 minutes between guests. I appreciate that, Ashley. I do. I've had several podcasters give me advice, and um, that's one way of putting it, Becca. I'm glad you kept it clean for YouTube. Um, but I want to help other people the way I've been helped. You know, um, I by no means am a professional at this. For one, I'm not getting paid. To be considered professional, I got to get paid. But two, um, and I'm still. Oh, you did? Well, thank you, thank you. Yeah, Becca doesn't know about that. Um, we were we were at dinner with her dad. She was in the middle of talking to her dad when I was talking to you. Um, but yeah, Becca, you're getting a window sticker from Ghost Gossip. So, but yeah, yeah. So that's what we got going on. Dudes from the internet will be here in a couple months. The inaugural, uh, I think Alan called it our inauguration uh, episode we released the other day. It was called "We All Hit 500." Right, right. And you know, if you ever need help, you know, with your video editing or whatever you need, well, I can't do the editing for you, but I can give you advice on how I do mine and stuff like that. Just reach out. I don't mind helping. Um, but um, yeah, yeah. I think there's enough room in the paranormal realm, in the cryptid realm, for all of us to be able to help each other. It shouldn't be. We should not be competing. Um, it'd be different if there were actual experts in these fields, because nobody is an expert in the paranormal, because we don't have enough evidence, I guess you would say. I don't know if that's the right word, but until it's mainstream, it's all of us amateurs that are going to have to try to prove this thing, and without the backing of actual scientists and things like that, we got to work together to get this stuff out. Rip advantage off to alive soon. Yeah, yeah. Once you do, though, you get addicted to it. Also had to learn on my own. Year 3. Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, hopefully with this new thing we're doing, we can we can all, kind of come together, help each other grow, get some exposure for everybody. That's the big thing. I think that I know that I've went on a few shows here in the last couple months, and that has really helped boost my numbers. Um, but I'm trying not to toot my own horn here, but that was my idea about the sharing of the episodes. I think that would go over well, and we all struggle with finding time to edit episodes, and this would be a quick episode. This would be a quick edit to get some content out there, to get some more views, hopefully get some more followers. That's correct. I hate seeing shows that have guests. Yeah, you're not. There's no experts in this stuff. They may be very knowledgeable, but that doesn't make you an expert, because some of these experts, especially when it comes to like Bigfoot and stuff like that, some of the experts are like, this thing is flesh and blood. It's nothing else. It can't do anything else. This is what it is because this is what I saw that one time. That's what happened in your encounter. That's what's happened in some of the encounters that you listen to. But as soon as it does something that you don't agree with, and you don't listen to what other people are experiencing, you there you have to look at it all. You have to listen to everybody. Everybody's had different experiences. Everybody's had different encounters. And just because it happened to you this way this one time, or even two or three times, doesn't mean that's how it is all the time. I can drive down the same stretch of road every day, and I can say there's no potholes on this road. There's none. My roads are perfect. And if you say there's a pothole on my road, you're lying. Well, that's because I haven't seen the pothole yet. Maybe it's in a different lane than I use. Maybe it's because my truck's wide enough that I missed the pothole. Or maybe I'm just a better driver and I miss the potholes, and Becca's driving the other time and hits the potholes. I love you, honey. I'm just joking. But that's what I'm saying. Just because you don't see the potholes doesn't mean the potholes don't exist. It just means you haven't hit one yet. So I haven't started my podcast yet. I also started that's right. That's right. I was there. I was there, Stacy, 3,000 years ago. That's that was a good time. We had a lot of fun with that. Cryptozoologists really do. They have a zoo with cryptids someday. Actually, I think that's what Earth is. It's one of the theories I'm going with. Not really. But that is one of the theories, that Earth is a zoo. That none of us belong on this planet. Aliens dropped us off here, and they just drive by and look at us like we're on exhibit. And that's why it's almost like humans don't belong on this planet, because everything's trying to kill us. I've been trying to keep this one guy named Paul Scott out. He comes back in like every 2 days with a different profile picture from a different country, from a different city. And when you ask who your favorite teacher was, it's like Sir John. There's nobody called Sir John. You just make up names and put them in there. No. And then I'll look at the profile and I'll have no friends in common. I guarantee you, if you grew up in Bradford, I have a friend in common with you. Right. The alien experiment theory. Same thing. Or maybe it's like we're like Australia was to the British Empire. Humans did something wrong. Right. If anybody says Mr. Bill, I know they went to Bradford. Oh, I've had stalkers my whole life. I mean, eventually I married Becca, and she stalked me for a long time. Kind of grew on me like a wart, and kind of like her. I'm like, okay, you can stick around. Right, right. Yeah. I forget what I was talking about now. Oh, we were talking about the alien Earth theory. There's a theory that humans, since they don't fit in here, but we kind of can live here because it seems like the environment's trying to kill us. Um, we were dropped off. Our species was dropped off here um, as kind of like a penal colony. You know, they whatever humans did on their planet, they didn't like, so they rounded us all up and brought us here. She is a wonderful woman. She puts up with me. She she allows me to come on here and do this kind of stuff. The one good thing, you know, and I tell this to all women, or actually, I can tell this to anybody. But if you're afraid of your spouse cheating on you, find a podcaster because they ain't got time. They ain't got time to cheat. They're stuck in their studios. When we're not interviewing or recording, we're editing. And when we're not editing, we're promoting. And when we're not promoting, we're, you know, trying to come up with new merchandise, or we're trying to come up with new ideas to try to make some money off the show. We don't have we don't have time to cheat. Am I right, Ashley? You ain't got time. You ain't got time. It's basically working two full-time jobs. You got your 9 to 5, then you got your podcast. And, you know, try to work in some time to do other things. But eventually, you know, like I've said this before, everybody's goal as a podcaster is to make this your full-time gig. For most people, it's not going to happen. May not happen for me. If it doesn't, still having fun. Still having fun. Every time I get in front of the camera, every time I talk to somebody, every time I interview somebody, just having fun. Exactly. Right. Right. And I try to tell people that if they're wanting to start a podcast, just do it. But if you're getting into it for the money, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Do it because you enjoy it. If you enjoy talking to people, if you enjoy doing the presentation part of it, whatever your whatever your podcast style is, you have to do it because you enjoy it, because it takes a long time to make money. Some people get lucky. Some people, it's like getting hit by lightning. Their podcast takes off. They start making money right away and whatever. Good. That's good for you. And it happens sometimes. Um, look at Tony Merkel. He didn't start off right away being able to quit his job. And, he was a truck driver for several years while he still did his podcast. Um, I found out something the other day, and I think it's very interesting. Mr. Beast, the most successful YouTuber, after 3 years on YouTube, he only had 1,000 subscribers. So to put that in perspective, if you only have a couple hundred subscribers and you've been on YouTube for a year, you're still okay. It just takes time for your audience to find you, and it takes the time for YouTube to figure out where to put you. So make sure that you're liking and subscribing your favorite, or liking, commenting, sharing your favorite YouTubers. That's the big thing, and I say at the beginning of every show, most podcasters say it, make sure you're liking, commenting, and sharing. That's the best way to grow. It really is. And when you comment, use at least 5 words. Yeah. Right already. That's my point. I want to meet Tony Merkel. I can tell you what, if you want to come up to the Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree in Ada, Ohio on October 4th, you can meet Tony Merkel. Yeah. I've met Tony. He's a very nice guy. I've talked to him a couple times on Facebook. Very nice guy. very, very humble. But he will be at the Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree. He is one of the speakers, and I think he's going to have a booth set up. I don't know if um, the other guys, the other guys from Merkle Media, are going to be there or not. They were there last year. Joel Thomas was there um, from Free the Rabbits. He was there. But this year's going to be bigger than last year. I mean, I'm going to be there, so that's obviously bigger. I don't go to Piddly once. No, I'm joking. Um, but there's going to be a lot more vendors, a lot more podcasts there. Going to the one in Pigeon Forge. When is that? I'm probably going to do a lot more conferences and stuff next year because it's something you got to really plan out. Just trying to set up a booth at the last minute. Usually, all the places are taken. I signed up for Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree back in March, and it's not till October. Going to them is no problem. You can wait till the last minute to do that. But as far as setting up a booth and meeting people and stuff like that, it's not something that you want to wait till the last minute to do. There's one that's going on in Salina, Ohio, October 24th and 25th or something like that. They've got a couple good speakers there. I did not get a booth there because I thought what they were asking for a 10 by 10 space was outrageous for their first year having a Bigfoot festival. So I said, nah, mama, nah. I'll go to it and just walk around. Yeah, but you can come up and then go to the pumpkin show. I mean, don't you miss the pumpkin show? I know that. I'm talking about. I was just talking. But how Bigfoot Jamboree is October 4th, and I'm pretty sure like the next week is pumpkin show. Make up my mind. I want to go to the one you mentioned, Ohio. There's one local I'm interested in, and I also one in Minnesota, all at the same day. Well, I'm not going to be at all three. So if you want to see me, you got to come to Ohio. Just saying. I mean, that should make it worth it right there. The mullet should make it worth it. I'm going to have some mullets for sale at the Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree, along with some other little things like canned koozies, stuff like that. But I'm using it more to meet some people, meet the fans. Canyon City, Colorado, June 2026. Old mining town will be a fun one. That's Colorado? Holy cow. Becca, that's right. JD will be in Ada on October 4th. Kind of gets harder for us to get away that far. Unfortunately, yes, I miss it. I miss our hometown. I know. Well, if you change your mind, you know where I'll be. The mullet made JD do it. That's right. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to have shirts at the Ada one. I may have a way for you to order shirts. I know I'll have a way for you to order shirts at Ada, but I don't know if I'm going to carry them with me. I don't want to buy a bunch of them and have to haul them back and forth. But I will have can koozies. I got a new supplier for my can koozies. I like them. And I will have mullets for people to buy. So there you go. There's several people, at least two people in the chat right now, I believe have their mullets. Maybe at least one person does. I know that. I see the one in Colorado. One of my friends is hosting it. Oh, Oh, you saw the one in Colorado. Yeah. I don't know. I've never been to Colorado. Becca, do you want to go to Colorado next year in June? Boss will make up the mind on that one. Wouldn't mind going back out there, back out west. I haven't been to Colorado yet, so I sported a mullet sophomore year in high school. I don't remember you having a mullet. I need to see these pictures. I don't remember you having a mullet. Becca says sure. So maybe we're going to Colorado next year. We'll see. We'll see. We'll have to look at it because we like to take one in September. We like to take a vacation in September. Um, that's when our anniversary is. So kind of has meaning to take one in September. But June is my birthday. Just saying. Colorado would be cool, you know. Might see some Bigfoot. Who knows? According to Rome, former guest. I will. I will, Stacy. But according to Rome, one of my former guests, he also had UFO activity outside of Fort Carson in Colorado. So actually right over top of Fort Carson in Colorado. I think somebody else. Is it Matthew? Matthew or the 10th. Matthew or Cryptic Creatures. One of them had another different UFO event over Fort Carson. It's a whole different animal, whole different UFO. September 10th is our anniversary. You can raft the gorge. Which gorge? Oh, Royal Gorge. I missed that. And Pikes Peak. Yeah. I saw that movie. I don't know if I want to go to Pikes Peak. Yeah. Yeah. James Bond barely made it off that mountain. Think my fat ass was going to? All right. We've been going for an hour and 23 minutes. JD, what are you doing? You busy? I want to try something. Nice. Nice. Well, I'll have to remember to tell you I'll have to remind myself to say happy birthday to your son. JD, what are you doing right now? Are you somewhere where you could I want to see if I can invite you into this live. When we do an Ape Canyon, I don't know. I definitely do want to go back out there. Stanley Hotel, yeah. Yep, there's lots to do out there. I don't know. We'll have to sit down and talk about what we want to do for our vacation next year. How does this work? Copy link. Let me see how I can do this. Do it this way. I'm ready to send you something on Facebook and see if this works. Maybe if it comes up. Facebook Messenger is not wanting to work here. Do it a different way. Well, crap. I'm trying. Trying, man. Well, I'm gonna have to figure it out a different way. This ain't working. Because I can't just click on your name. Huh. His name is Evan. Which question? Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's right. And Ghost Gossip does have an episode about the Stanley. That's right. Love you, my beautiful wife. Go to bed. You don't need any more. Uh-oh. Am I still live? I shouldn't have done that. I don't know if I'm still live or not. I was trying to send JD an invite, and I should have done it a different way. I think I screwed up my connection. Is anybody still in here? Crap. Okay. Okay. I tried to send JD an invite to come into the live, and when I minimized my screen, when I came back, it says unstable connection. So I got to figure this stuff out. We will figure it out. Okay. Appreciate it. I appreciate everybody staying around. We'll get all this figured out. I'm using Riverside to go live instead of directly through YouTube because I want to be able to do these lives on multiple platforms. And I thought I had it set up to be able to go on. Uh-oh. Am I live or not? Because Angie acts like I'm not live. Let me do it this way. I can tell if I'm live. Yeah, I'm still live. Yeah, I'm still live. We're good. Okay, I appreciate it. Well, I thought I know where the setting is, and I thought I had them both selected for me to be able to go live on um, Facebook and YouTube. But for some reason, up here at the top, it's only showing YouTube. But I had it set up earlier when I pressed go live. I thought I had it set up to do both. We'll figure it out next time. Well, I didn't know. It's still telling me up at the top that I'm trying to reconnect. And then Angie said, "Did we lose our leader?" Y'all have me freaking out for a moment. Okay. Okay. Make sure you're checking out Nevermore Hollows, Chumming with Spirits, Drunken Cryptids, Ghost Gossip, Lodge Tales, Tinfoil Tales. Check out my links on my description on YouTube. Even on my homepage. If you scroll down, you're going to see links to all my favorite podcasts. Um, I really want to push them too. Cryptic Creature Show. If you haven't heard yet, um, go over to my Facebook. You will find a link to Midnight Realm Radio. It's an internet radio station, and you're going to be hearing, actually, here in just probably about a half hour on Midnight Realm. You're going to hear one of my episodes on there. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just getting bad information because it still says up at the top it's trying to reconnect. But yeah, if you go over to live365.com and look up Midnight Realm Radio right now, you can hear True Crime Nation, which is another podcast that the guys from Cryptic Creature Show do. And I believe my episode comes on after their True Crime Nation. Yeah. My normal time is Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and that's live365.com/Midnight Realm Radio. Yeah. What you'll hear is replays of my older episodes, maybe trying to connect you with dudes. Oh, with JD? No, I never even was able to send him the link. I didn't want to drop the link right into the chat and then everybody try to come in. I mean, I love you all, but come on. I'll figure out a way to do it. I will get it figured out. Who's they? I've mentioned a lot of people. Everybody that I've mentioned is on YouTube. That was I'm not sure what question you're asking. Which platform are all the people that I mentioned, or the Live 365, or JD? JD, he's on a whole nother level. All right, Ashley, I will probably talk to you tomorrow at some point. Appreciate you coming in. This has been kind of a fun live. Took a little while for me to get warmed up, but we're getting there. We're gonna have it figured out by the next time. Figure out how I can. All right, trying to connect to you, JD. The True Crime Guys. Cryptid Creature Show is on YouTube. They had a true crime podcast that they were doing, and it is called, I'll tell you, True Crime Nation. And I'm not sure how much they actually do with that one anymore, but they have all these episodes on. I don't know. I don't know if my episode's coming on next or not. Oh, you're still here. You were saying goodnight to Ashley. Gotcha. Was lost for a moment. True Crime Nation was one of their yes. True Crime and Cryptid Creatures. They're both hosted by the same guys, Brian and Todd. If you listen to live365.com, Midnight Realm Radio, you're going to hear their podcast and mine right now. We're trying to get some other podcasters to join for exposure. Yeah. Yeah. Check them out. Make sure you're checking out Chiming with the Spirits, Nevermore Hollows, Drunken Cryptids, Ghost Gossip. I say it every show. Gotta go down there. Yeah. Yeah. Just like that time you tried to get me in your hotel room and you had cameras set up. Yeah. That was misleading too. That really did happen. Nope. My episode did not play next. But between episodes, they do play some really good music too. Music that we grew up with because they're like around our age. So you're going to hear a lot of 80s and 90s rock and country, the good stuff. I want to do a little promo and send to them and say, you're listening to Midnight Realm Radio. If you don't know these songs, your birth date probably starts with or your birth year probably starts with a 2, and your parents failed you. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to shut this one down. I've been going for an hour and a half, but I really do appreciate everybody coming in tonight. Once again, new episodes dropping on Wednesday. That is part 2 with Brian Goddard. We get into a little bit of everything, UFOs, Dogman, more Bigfoot. And then next week is David Hardy. See you guys. Maybe. Oh, I got to hit the right button. You'd think I was a professional.